Hello everybody, this is Money Mom. Welcome back to the channel. Tuesday night. I actually wondered if I should even do this video tonight, and that's part of the reason it's so late. The title of the video is Something I've Never Told Any of You, and I'm going out of my comfort zone. This is not clickbait. This is something that I've never discussed on YouTube, partly because I'm a little bit embarrassed about it, and because what I'm about to tell you about myself is probably very different from anyone you know. So let me get started on my story. I don't know if it'll go over 5 minutes, but I feel like it's important to talk about. And basically this story is about asking yourself this question. Is there anything that you're fearful or something that you'd love to do that is outside your comfort zone, but you just don't have the guts to do it, and you keep shoving it under the rug? That's kind of what this is about, because in order for us to grow as people, even if you do things in baby steps, you really have to move past the fear and step outside your comfort zone, and that's what this video is about. I'll start off from when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I took driving lessons. I got my driver's license. We lived in Stillwater, Minnesota. I grew up in Woodbury, Minnesota, which is a suburb of St. Paul. My dad wanted to live out in the country, so for 4 years we moved to Stillwater. I got a driver's license. Well, because we were out in the country, I drove, and I didn't drive a whole lot, but I drove, and it wasn't a big deal because I didn't deal with any cars around me. Well, once I started driving with vehicles around me or traffic, I got very panicky, and so then I just didn't drive. I went off to college, University of Wisconsin, River Falls. I didn't need a car there, so I didn't drive. Then I moved to Dallas, Texas, and because I made a smaller income and because I didn't have a lot of driving experience, because I didn't drive for that long, and when I did, it was out in the country, so, I didn't really have that time put in to driving. So I didn't buy a vehicle. So basically years have gone past where, yes, I have a driver's license that I renew. I use it for ID, but I really never drove. Actually, about 10 or 12 years ago, a friend of mine's like, Dawn, I really would love to see you drive. So she bought me one driving lesson just to see how it would go. Well, basically, I got behind the wheel and I was fine when there were no cars around me. And once we got out in some heavy traffic, I panicked, and our driving teacher had to take over. I don't remember what he had on his side. I remember he had a set of brakes on his side, and we had to end the lesson. It was humiliating and embarrassing, and I just kept saying to myself, well, I'm just someone that shouldn't drive. Not everybody should drive, and I'm just someone that shouldn't. But just lately, I've been thinking, if something were to happen to my wonderful husband, and I was here, and I was here by myself, and my daughter's off on her own, guess what? It would be good for me to drive. Yes, I can take Uber, there'd be nothing wrong with that, but it would be good for me to at least be able to drive to some areas around me. So this is what I'm sharing with you guys. I've done a few times already, but I'm going to start driving again, and this is what I've decided to do. I've already done this already, and I'm fine with this. My husband has taken me to some local parking lots and driving around, and they have cones, and they actually have a setup right there for practice driving, and I do just fine there. It's just when I get around traffic. If I'm going to be doing more practicing, once I'm done with that, I'll probably buy a set of driving lessons so that they can work with me driving around other vehicles. The reason why is they've got a safety setup in their vehicle with brakes on their car, on their side of the car, so that way I don't get out in a situation where I put somebody else in harm's way, or someone else's car in harm's way. So this is not something I've really loved doing. I never really enjoyed driving, but I really feel like it would be something good to do, just to at least be able to get around to some local areas, if anything, some areas that are close to me. And it's something that I've put off for a long time. And people will say, well, why don't you drive? They find it strange that I don't drive. I don't know if most people in your world drive, but if you don't fit into a box, and I know I've spoken about this topic a lot, if you don't fit into a nice little box and do things the way that everyone else does them, it seems like people just think you're so strange. And me not driving or me being panicked around traffic has really set me apart from other people that do drive. So I'm doing something about it. My husband and I, once a week now, and we're starting again, and I've done it before, each Wednesday we're going to be driving, and if this goes well, then I will continue with some driving lessons, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm doing something to step outside my comfort zone. My question to you is, just think about this. If you want to answer, great. If not, that's okay. Is there anything that you would like to do, that you would like to step out of your comfort zone and move past your fear, that you're willing to take a small step and do that today? This was a hard video to make. You're welcome to give your feedback. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye-bye.